All right, folks, welcome back in another edition Handicap Sports Podcast. I'm your host, JC Sports, and back with me again, forever and always, JK in the QZ Under Armour, RK. How we doing, fellas?
Good. I'm in the same house as RK right now, but a floor above him. So
You guys should have been in the same camera, no?
no.
Could have been. We didn't know how to we didn't know how to do that technology. Maybe one of these days we'll have to all three be in the same. We'll see how that works out.
One of these days we'll have a big studio and we'll all be in that studio.
There you go.
That's on the up and coming. But
We got to get the word out. We're the best kept secret in sports.
we really are, and we're really dialed in week after week. I mean, we're pretty much the pioneers to every take that people have out there. So let's keep clanging and banging. Let's keep riding the wave, and let's just stay consistent here.
Yeah.
Out of the gate, Jenny Invitational, Riviera Country Club. I mean, this course is just magical. The finish at the end, the emotional Homa, the dominating of Jon Rahm, Tiger Woods playing a full 4 rounds, Jon Rahm and Tiger at the end. The handshake, the picture, it was really special stuff, and not to harp on all the live stuff, but I mean these guys just got to look at this tournament and just be like, you got to miss some sort of a competitive spirit of what this is. I mean, it's ridiculous. We'll get into the Netflix documentary because that'll all tie into that. But initial thoughts on the Jenny, the Riv, JK. We'll start with you.
Yeah, what you were just saying, that me and Dad, I got here last night and watched the last 5 holes with Dad, and that's exactly what we were saying, like how these live guys must look at this and be like, what am I missing? And this is something I took away from this weekend that's been kind of lingering for the last few weeks that I've really been thinking about, is as much as people want to say the PGA Tour. I'm going to talk about the PGA Tour in general first, and then I'm going to get into it. So what the PGA Tour and Monahan have done is so good. And honestly, live happening is the reason why this is all going on.
Oh, yeah.
12 events of the year, not including majors, where all the top guys are going to play. Enhanced purses. It gets everyone together, and it makes the events that much better. I'll say this, the Waste Management and the Genesis back-to-back weeks, those to me were major-ish vibes. It was fun to watch, but then you got to take your medicine. Next week, the Honda Classic. All right, it's not going to be very popular. I'll watch some of it. I'm not going to be as locked into it. But then after that, you got the Arnold Palmer and you got the Players, and then it kind of leads right into. So it's pretty cool. I just wanted to go off and say that. So it was cool to see. As for the tournament, obviously, Jon Rahm again proves he's the best player in the world.
He's a beast.
It's not even close. It's not even close. He is the best player in the world. Proved it again. Max Homa fought like hell. Max is awesome. Probably one of the most top 5 most liked players on tour for our generation. Me and you, Jacob, probably the most likable guy in golf right now. It was fun. Yeah, we can get it.
He's very cool, dude.
That's what I wanted. That's just what I wanted to say at first. And Dad, I'll give you the floor.
Yeah, I give you a few of my takeaways from the tournament. I guess it was day 1 when JT, Rory, and Tiger all made birdie on 18. It was you almost like felt like it was like the old big 3 of like Jack, Arnold, and
Gary
Player. Like the way they all just kind of soaked it in. It was very cool. I was happy to see Tiger make the walk up the steps every day. I'm sure he could have gotten a cart, but he didn't. In terms of Sunday's the final Sunday golf, I would say that I think that where Rahm won it really on three holes. For him, after the way he completely screwed up 10, for him to walk away with bogey, he could have easily made a much bigger number. That back trap is no easy trap to get up and down, so that was critical. And then he made a bomb on 14, and then he almost put it in the hole on 16. I think at that point it was game over. But Homa really hung in there. I think he had the lead going into onto the 11th tee. He made a mistake on 12, which was 13. I'm sorry, going into 12th tee, he had the lead, and then he made a critical mistake on 13. But he still made bogey. It was a hell of a bogey from where he was. I think Max Homa played great. He was down 3 to start. I think he was probably plus 300 or some crazy number. I mean, he was definitely not a favorite, and he almost won the damn thing. So he's really good, and I thought that it was really a two-man race. Ice, what do you guys call him? Ice Cantler. He was kind of in there for a little while, but it was really a two-man race, and it was really, really enjoyable. But that 10th hole, boy, what a hole! What a golf hole! It's all they talk about.
It's a great.
It's like the easiest and the hardest hole I've ever seen in my life. Like, it should be an easy birdie, but it's all about that. It's all about the tee shot. It's all like, Dad. You played there multiple times.
Yeah.
When you play, where do you go?
I wish I could drive the green, but I hit my driver as far as I can. I'm usually about 60. If I hit a good shot, I'm about 60 yards short of the green, and nice little wedge, and I two-putt par. A lot of that's how JT plays it. He lays up. But I will say, Homa is they said one of the few guys in the history of the tournament to birdie it every day.
Yeah, he did have all 4 days birdies. That was very impressive.
And they went back and they said just a handful of guys have done that. But boy, Ram he showed you a lot, boy. He was in trouble on that hole. He hit 3 bad shots in a row and only made a bogey. That's amazing.
I mean,
3 bad shots.
Yeah, the bomb on the par 3 was insane. I mean, that putt from the fringe.
It was dead center.
Dead center, kind of took the wind out of Homa, and then he had the perfect club on 16. The volume was up. He goes, quote John Rahm, "Be the freaking number," and he almost drilled that. I mean, the dude.
He's intent.
How many? I mean, 2 majors out of Rahm. Like, I think it's at least one.
Yeah, it's
at least one.
It's something.
He's going to be the favorite.
A couple other things I wanted to highlight from the tournament. I'm not sure how much longer we'll talk about it, but figured I would give my guy, me and Dad's guy, a little shout. How awesome is it? He's just about a month out from the end of few weeks from the end of the football season. Josh Allen's there supporting Keith Mitchell. I thought that was pretty cool. That's his guy.
That was cool.
I
were they friends prior? I knew they played together at the Pebble Pro-Am, but do they know each other?
I don't think so. I think that they just became friends through Pro-Ams. I think they played in multiple Pro-Ams together, and it's pretty cool to see him show out.
Yeah, it's a class move.
Yeah, I thought that.
He shook Tiger's hand, which was cool.
Yeah, it was very good.
Yeah.
And then talk real quick about we like to talk about our picks. I went unusual. I took a pre-tournament pick on Hideki, which shit the bed because he didn't make the cut. But I did okay I took some after the cut. I went with 3 guys. 2 guys came in, Woodland who's the other guy?
Faith.
What's his name? He was in the I took Lowry, but he didn't make it. Phil, I had him, and he really played well. He almost ended up in top 5. He's very, very impressive.
Yeah,
he's a solid player.
Solid player.
Thigala.
There you go.
Yeah.
Solid player. I think he's going to win one very soon. And I mean, your dart on Woodland, you thought he would just regress a little bit after he had those 2 big days. But his Saturday was great. I think he went
Well,
like 5,
after
6 under on Saturday.
yeah, he was like in 12th place, and for some reason he was plus 400 money to be top 10. I mean, that was pretty good return.
That's great.
Yeah. That's a great
Yeah,
hit on your part.
I'm doing something. I think I'm just going to do it every single week. Rom hasn't missed the top 10 all year. The last 3 tournaments Rom's played in, I've taken Rom top 10. It's even money every single week. I mean, to me, it's an auto bet at this point. You almost have to take it. That's how good he is.
It's probably going to be every week. Be what, like minus 110 to 130 maybe.
I've seen it
Even money.
Between
even money.
5 and minus 110. What's the difference? In that, it's good. Yeah, my 3 guys, JT, Xander, and Finau, they couldn't come through for me. The one guy I did take live though to win the tournament was Max. I took him on Thursday when he was 3 under at plus 1,000. I took that then. It was fun.
You almost got it.
Probably could have hedged when he was up. Probably could have hedged when he was up by 1, but I was in a store during that time, so couldn't do it then. But
that's not dedication, John. You got to stay out of the stores, man.
Yeah,
that's weak. That's weak. I bet you even when he had the lead going into the 12th tee, he was at that point he still wasn't the favorite. I guarantee Rom was still the favorite to win it.
I looked at it. At one point, I looked at it and I saw like it was Rom plus 110, Max minus 110 or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's one time I did see it.
Oh, word.
Oh, good. Yeah, it was a fun tournament. I forgot one more thing. Someone said, I forgot. Do you guys know who said this? Someone said the two best courses they think St. Andrews and Riviera.
Tiger Woods said that.
Oh, he did. Okay,
that's what Tiger said that in an interview.
Yeah, I think
he said those are his 2. I mean the course wins this tournament. I mean that's what the announcers cream all over the course. The players love the course. I mean, they got to get back on the major track one of these days soon.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they can make that course so hard. They can barely hold the greens from the rough now. If they grew the rough 4 or 5 inches, it'd be literally impossible. It'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Just so much history at that place and an unbelievable tournament. So it's always special when we have that. Yeah, I mean, Jenny obviously always comes through, always produces. So another great one there. Hats off to John Rahm. Unbelievable performance. Moving forward on things, you guys catch the All-Star Weekend stuff at all? I didn't really watch much of the 3-point shootouts and shit. I had Hero, who just put on one of the worst performances of all time. Didn't finish, missed his first 10 buckets. Were you guys on any action All-Star game? Were you watching it all?
I had nothing on it, but I watched it. I didn't really watch Saturday night, but our boy from the Knicks, I think that his kid was crying after his performance of the 3-point. Yeah. That was horrible, and the slam dunk contest was pretty cool with that new guy, 10-day contract with the Sixers, yeah. and he wins it. But the All-Star game was a little out of control, but it's you just gotta laugh. It's fun to watch. LeBron's got to be the most insecure, successful guy in the world. That guy he's got so many mental problems, that guy. I mean, he's one of the greatest players in the world, and he's literally the most hated guy. Everyone boos him wherever he goes.
I think Kyrie.
It's really hysterical.
Yeah.
Well, Kyrie's got good reason.
Yeah.
So, but at least Kyrie played.
I didn't watch the All-Star game, but does LeBron he hurt his finger, right, or something like that?
Yeah, he got his pinky stuck in the rim somehow, and he had to sit out, and But it was pretty. The shooting was fun. It was pretty. It was good. It was fun to watch.
The two caps.
It's funny how the one best quote from it is the Joker. He said, he goes, "My game's just not set up for this type of game."
No, it's not.
He can't fit in.
Lucas too. I was looking back at the stats and All-Star games. I remember last year Joker barely shot the ball. I think he had like 2 points. Like Luka's the same way. It's like the LeBron show. Like he's just such an asshole, though. I can't deal with that kid. JK, what were you saying?
It's unbelievable.
It was I like I said, I'll say this every single year. I don't think it's particularly close. As much as a joke people think the All-Star game being with no defense or anything, between all the major sports All-Star games, how can you say that one is less entertaining than the NBA All-Star
No,
game?
it's the greatest.
Like people like saying the MLB All-Star game is the best because like it can determine home field. It's so boring. It's just like any other.
It's good.
It's
Derby. The Derby's really good.
The Derby's great, but
They score 100. They score 100 points a quarter. So funny.
I saw that score. That was crazy.
But when you watch an NBA All-Star game, in my opinion, at least me and my friends were texting about it, we're just like, unlike any other All-Star game or any other sport, how sick these guys are. They're like how they just snipe and they just nail shots from everywhere. It's awesome.
Yeah, they're unbelievable.
It's fun to watch. And Team LeBron came very close towards the end of actually. They needed 2 more stops and they could have won. But
did you guys have any action on it?
I did. I had
All-Star game. No.
I had the.
Oh, I shouldn't say that. I had one. I had one.
He definitely had the Ronnie over, baby. He had the Ronnie over.
No,
the Ronnie
I didn't have
over
it.
Special.
I had the Ronnie over.
No.
It hit
I had one. I had one. I had one bet for Luka to be the first pick, and he didn't get it.
Who was the first pick?
It was.
It wasn't Ja. It was Embiid.
Yeah, and then Tatum was the first pick. Remember, we were shocked when Tatum was the first pick for Giannis, and Tatum. You know what? Tatum probably.
Oh, Tatum.
Did he drop like 50?
50 something. Yeah.
He's so good. I think the Celtics are good. I think the Celtics are going to win it all, and I think they're going to play the Mavs in the finals.
Well, listen to this. So.
Oh boy, get ready, settle in.
So
come on, John. Let's have it.
Here we go.
This is going to be the biggest announcement of the day.
2 years ago, NBA All-Star MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo, Finals MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo. Last year, NBA Finals MVP Steph Curry, All-Star Game MVP Steph Curry.
Wow.
Jason Tatum, All-Star Game MVP.
That's very interesting, actually, because that could very, very well happen. The Celtics are by far the best team in the NBA.
They're heavy favorites. I know a lot of people hate Russ. I love Russ. I think the Clippers. Don't sleep on the Clippers. Between Paul George, Russ, and Kawhi, they'll come together. People hate them. I still like them, but whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, NBA All-Star games obviously always great. We'll hop into more of college basketball once the conference tournament starts coming up. Selection Sunday, because we got March Madness coming up. Which
I got nothing on college basketball right
now. Let me give you this, Jacob, before you go into anything. I was talking to my friends. So this weekend you kind of got the Honda Classic, a little off weekend in my opinion. Then
I'll be locked in.
Then the next 5 weekends, Arnold Palmer, players, March Madness, Masters. That's a good 6-week stretch right there.
Yeah, I mean, and after I get the Honda's not that great, but I'll be locked in. But after that, it's real up and running. The golf season is gonna be in full effect. And what better way with this Netflix show? I binge watched it. I finished it all. I told myself I was just gonna do 2 episodes a week. That didn't happen. I mean, my takeaway from the Netflix documentary was I thought it was unbelievable. I know we were all talking about this. The Fitzpatrick episode was really moving. With the family there, with his brother, John Rappaport at Barstool. I follow him on Twitter. He is so thorough. He's great. I loved how he was in it. But yeah, I think that was probably my favorite episode, just how moving it was. Fitzy losing. So what was it? It was the PGA Championship, which he absolutely blew up. JT was 7 off the lead going to the last round. Fitzy blew that up, comes back, next major, wins the U.S. Open. That was my favorite episode. What were your guys' final takes from Full Swing? I thought it was great.
I thought it was really good. I think you and I texted about that Fitzpatrick. That was,
Amazing.
I mean, that was pretty moving. There's a rumor out there. It's probably true that Wayne Gretzky, when Dustin Johnson married his daughter, Wayne Gretzky said, it's a rumor, but enough people have said it. Wayne Gretzky said, "I didn't think I could find anyone dumber than my daughter," and it was, and I think Dustin backed that up with his quote, where he's comparing himself, one of the top 10 golfers in the world, to like a working stiff in an office, saying, "Oh, if you worked in an office and you can make more money and work less, wouldn't you do it?" I mean, it'd be like saying, Mahomes, join the Canadian Football League, we'll triple your salary. Do you think he would do it? No.
It's ridiculous.
What would he do? That's exactly what he's doing. But it's all fine. These guys should just go away. They should just say, "I took my money. This is what I decided to do," and call it a day. Stop trying to fight back, trying to get world rankings. This week, here's what you're going to hear. You're going to hear compare the Honda with the field at the Live, and the Live field is going to be better. But that's what they're going to say. But I mean, think about what happened the last 2 weeks. Those guys must have been looking at that and just saying, "God, do I wish I was there." But who knows? I don't really care about any of those guys. They just picked up 2 more players. They picked up guys that haven't won
They got Danny Lee, who was supposed to be in the Honda, but now Danny Lee.
Yeah. Who cares though? You're gonna really worry if Danny Lee's playing? Then they picked up who's the other guy? List they pick up. There's another guy.
Luke List?
No, not Luke List. One of those guys. And then they picked up the guy who was in the documentary. He went over.
Mito
Pereira.
And also the other European went. He good player, but these guys have never won on the PGA Tour. Who, no one really cares about them. They're not like the top 40, top 50 guys. They're going to miss 2-3 months of the PGA Tour. They'll be out of the top 150. They'll never qualify for a major again, and that'll be the end of it. We won't even think about these guys.
No, I agree with you. I hope for them all to fail.
The worst thing that happen is one of those guys wins the Masters. That's what you don't want to happen.
One thing I'm hoping, and like I said, there's stuff that I learned from watching this Netflix doc, Full Swing, and that's it. It's just like I fell in love a little bit more with guys on the tour that I really wasn't a huge fan of. Guys like Fitzpatrick, I never liked him. I'm starting to grow a little softer spot for him. So, Rory especially. This one thing, I know you didn't get to that episode yet, Dad, but I was never a huge Rory guy. There's not one player on the PGA Tour who has spoke and defended the PGA like Rory has. And
you're right.
He's done so much for the PGA.
100%.
He's leading the players meetings. He's the one going and doing the pressers right after Jay Monahan does them. And Rory McIlroy is the guy who he's the spokesperson for the top golfers in the world. Obviously, you got Tiger, who's going to say his piece. You got Fred Couples, who's going to say his piece. The guys who are seasoned a little bit, but they understand their voice. But to represent like the JTs of the world, the Spieths, the Rahms, Rory McIlroy has been awesome, and it's going to be a little bit easier. It's going to be a little easier to root for him for me now. So good. One other thing I learned about the Netflix doc. I've always had an idea about this, but I never realized it this much until watching that. The pressure of making cuts in PGA Tour events is something that I never thought about too much. Sometimes when I was younger and I watched golf, and I saw a guy miss the cut by one stroke, I'm like, all right, he can just go home and prepare for next week. It's just so not it. I need to make cuts because they say if you go travel to a golf tournament, you're paying for the flight, you're paying for the hotels, you're not saying that pieces of shit. You're doing nice things. You have all these expenses.
Flying private.
Exactly.
And you make nothing. And if you make
how about
all your expenses?
How about in the documentary when Fitzpatrick, the abuse that he got on Sunday from the fans? I mean, what inner strength does that guy have to have? Because they were rooting for the USA guy. They're rooting for Will over him, and some of the comments. I mean, you hear it loud and clear. boy, he's got some strength. This guy,
John,
he's a very cool guy.
John, I think we were together when we were watching that U.S. Open. I had a future on Will. I think you had some money on Will. When we saw that Fitzy sand shot live, that was just an unbelievable shot.
Yeah, I was on Scotty. You were on Will, and Fitzy won. No, yeah, both losers. But no, he's a winner, man, and happy for him. And I like what he has to say about and like I said, if anyone has good things to say about the PGA, I consider myself, I can root for them. He said, I want to play against the best. And
that's fine.
He is. And I respect that.
I was literally ready to run through a brick wall once he said that. No, but going back to the whole live thing, when you look at an episode like the Poulter thing, I understand that, late in his career, not really doing much on the PGA Tour. I understand that, when you get to a guy like Joaquin Niemann, who's won at the Genesis Invitational, wouldn't you want to play in major, play in all these PGA tournaments? I get they could play in majors now, but it's just
they got to qualify for him.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's not going to be easy after this year. If they don't get points, they're not going to qualify.
You think it's going to be dead in 2 years, or do you think they're going to merge? Do you think they're going to merge?
They're never going to merge. I think it'll die.
And what? Just and these players will go back to the PGA Tour like nothing happened?
Yeah, if there's no live, they're going to come back.
Yeah, and
I can't. I mean, let's all tune into CW or whatever that station is called. If that is that, you're going to tune into the CW to watch these stupid teams. Yeah. I mean, give me a break.
Yeah,
and also how big of a
mash?
How big of an all these stupid teams. How big of an asshole is Koepka? Guy seems looks like he's on a bunch of drugs the way he talks. He's like, oh, who won the Phoenix Open? It was it's Scotty Scheffler. He was like, oh, who won? He's such an asshole.
He's out of it.
A huge Koepka guy. He's such a dick. John, I know you don't like him anymore.
I used to love him. He used to be
I never liked him.
Yeah, you never liked him.
I mean, he used to be one of my favorite golfers, and there's one thing, you got to think. I mean, I still go back and think about it sometimes. 4 majors in the span of 2.5 years for him. I mean, it's think about that. You don't see that from people anymore. Yeah. And that's to me, it's tarnished. I don't even think when you think these great golfers and these guys on the live, even if they win a major, I'm all right, fine.
He still live. He still live. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Even think about your legacy as much. What do you guys think? What if John Rahm wins 5 majors, or if Dustin Johnson wins 5 majors? Don't you think Rahm will go down with a way bigger legacy at the?
Of course. Yeah.
You really think about it. Everyone does all majors, but guess what? You gotta.
That's how it is now. And that's the nature of the PGA Tour now. It's good that we have these elevated events. It's good that these purses are bigger. Yeah, I thought it was a great documentary. I finished it up. I know, Dad, you got a couple more episodes to go.
Yep.
I know you'll like the one with
awesome.
Rory. Yeah, I know you'll like the one with Rory a lot. Before we get out of here, a couple more minutes. This weekend, Honda Classic.